it is. My friend needs to borrow it. Great.
It's the Jersey Baseball Show special signing week episodes this week here. We are talking with new Millersville University catcher Andrew Lombardi from Middletown North High School. Welcome, Andrew. Thanks for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Let's get right into it. Let's talk about certainly big deal with the signing of your national letter of intent to play for one of the top D2 programs in the country. But Millersville, not really a household name, I wouldn't think, in the Shore Conference. Obviously we know it's one of the best programs in the region, one of the best teams in the region the last 10 years, major league signings, things like that. But what was it that caught your eye there with Millersville? What was it that got your attention, and what's leading you into the PSAC?
So basically, I'm just going to put this out there. The number one thing that caught my eye was just like how much they cared about their recruits, first of all. So the first ever coach I talked to was the head coach, Coach Shehan. And right away, he made me feel like I was just part of their family. You could text him anytime, you could call him anytime. He would always pick up, he would always answer any question, whether it was about baseball, like lifting, catching, hitting, life in general. He would always be there. So that was the main thing. Two, like the second I stepped on campus, that place is unbelievable. Just like they breed competitors. The second I watched their first ever game I went to, I realized that it was no joke there. Now Division II may get like a so-called bad rep because it's not like that D1 label, but let me tell you, that's so far from it. It's the same as any high-level Division I school, I feel like, in my opinion. Those guys chuck it. Those guys throw gas.
Yep.
They're all low nines. Their hitters break. It's no different than, like, any other college baseball game I've ever watched.
As anybody who just watched the Astros in the World Series, you got Chas McCormick's a Millersville alum from a few years back. They are, you go to them. Westchester won 2 national titles the last 10 years. East Stroudsburg is always good. Bloomsburg. You got some teams that just compete at a national level every year, which is, it's going to be crazy. It's crazy. The PSAC weekends, those teams it's going to be a lot of fun. So, Coach Shehan was a catcher in college, as you know, I'm sure, obviously, but did that matter to your, is that kind of like excite you at all, knowing that your head coach kind of knows exactly what you're going through?
Oh yeah, for sure. Catching's a position where not many people understand like what you go through on the day-to-day basis of like how your body's feeling, like the mental thought behind it, like working pitchers. So that was definitely like a big thing for me. We talked a lot about catcher-pitcher relationships, being a leader, things like that, where we could relate onto like a level like that, which was really cool.
Yeah. Now, as much as we want to get started at Millersville, probably like tomorrow, we still got another high school year left, obviously, and a big one. So let's talk about your senior year and Middletown North baseball a little bit, and what our goals are for the season. With you being obviously now a senior leader, and what your goals are for the off season to get ready to not just dominate senior year, but be ready to go into college and make an impact.
So start with high school. Unfortunately, everyone knows with COVID, my sophomore year was wiped out. I was fortunate enough to have the last dance, so that was a really cool opportunity. We actually did pretty well. We got through 3 or 4 rounds, and then lost in the fourth round, 1-0 game. It was a really close game. That was actually very exciting for me to watch because I didn't understand how much my high school team could actually compete. And then we showed it next year. So last year, my junior year, we had one pitcher who was at Seton Hall now, Danny Frontera. He was our ace. Very, very good. When he was on, and he wasn't off ever. We knew every time we put him on the mound, that was a game that was very, very winnable no matter who we played. So that was fun catching him. His buddy, Colin Dowling, he's a senior this year with me. He's going to Seton Hall as well. Same deal with him, just dominant on the mound. He's an absolute dog, just gets it done all the time. So that's fun for me to catch. Then we have players here and there that aren't names that people may not know, but they can play for sure. Like, there's so many underrated guys in our school and in our program that people may not know about, but they have standout years every single year they play. An upcoming guy is Ryan Frontera, which is Danny's brother, which is going to Seton Hall with him. He's legit. He didn't strike out once last year.
Wow.
Yeah, he was up there. But overall, as a team, we perform. We've all been together. Middletown is a decently small town, so we see the same guys all the time. We've grown up playing Little League with each other. We have that type of relationship where everyone knows everyone, families know each other. So it really is awesome playing with those guys. Hopefully I have a good year coming out last year with those guys. I'm just excited to get after it because I did lose a year for my sophomore year.
Definitely. Now, catcher especially is really one of them all-in mental positions, right? You got to be, nobody just kind of likes playing catcher. You either love playing catcher at this point or you don't. You go play another position. What is it that you love about being behind the plate?
For me, a big thing, I was thrown back there really early. When I was a little kid, around like 7 or 8, like playing Little League, people were all like, "Oh, we need a catcher," and everyone was so scared to go back there. For me, I was kind of just like, "Oh, this is cool. I can put on gear." I put it on. I went back there. I did it, and then I just kept doing it because no one else wanted to do it. And then, close to like 10, 11 years old, going on 12, and I went to Cooperstown, I started to realize like, hey, I'm pretty good at this. Unfortunately, I'm not your 6'8", 270-pound right-handed pitcher, but that's a position where I do get away with being on the shorter side, which is pretty cool. But another big thing for me is like, as a catcher, you can have not such a great performance up at the plate and still have a phenomenal game and have a huge impact on the whole entire game as a catcher. And I don't think people realize that. Like, it goes so into depth, like with like different things. Like, for example, it could be one at bat. You steal that one strike on a 3-2 count.
Yeah.
Strike, bases loaded. Well, if you don't steal that strike and walk in the game-winning run, it's just things like that where it's like, I know in my head, people may not know it, but I know in my head that like I made a big impact on the game, which I absolutely love. And you're in every single pitch throughout the game. It's not like in the outfield. I've played the outfield and no shot at my outfielders out there, but sometimes it can be a little boring standing out there. So it's nice being all the time.
One of your guys striking out 12, 13 guys, there's maybe 3 balls hit to the outfield all game,
Yeah.
But yeah, you see like in the majors, the guys who are like, catch for forever and they're backups and it doesn't even matter what they hit because they have such a big leadership impact or, with the pitching staff or defensively, it's such a great position. So are you anti-robot umpires then?
Yeah, I mean, when that first came out, I was a little like skeptical about it.
All your framing work is going to be like pointless, right?
That's the thing. It takes away like a huge art of like the game. Like receiving has been like such a big thing, like up the past years. And it's like, if you're gonna take that away, is it almost like now everyone can catch? Like if you can block and throw, like now you can just catch. Like receiving such a huge part, and like if that goes away, it's gonna be a lot different to see like how things go.
Yeah, just stick somebody throwing 95 behind the plate. Doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what they do when they catch it.
Yeah.
Random questions. One phone app you couldn't do without.
I would have to go with Instagram on that one. I mean, I do like Snapchat. I do like Twitter. I like YouTube. I like all those. But Instagram, I'm on that all the time. If I go on my screen time, it's probably like 50% of the day. Sitting in school, sitting in my house. I mean, I can get anything on there. I can get baseball. I can see friends. I can see like my teammates, stories. I meet people like you. I meet everyone on there. So it's crazy. Like that's like kind of my life, which is sad, but I mean, it's a new thing.
One thing that's on your bucket list.
On my bucket list, I guess it would be the skydive in Hawaii.
You're taking two bucket list things and combining them into one is what you're doing there.
Yeah, I mean, I've always wanted to skydive.
Yeah, everybody wants to go to Hawaii too.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, like, if I'm gonna skydive, I want to like skydive in a cool place. So
right.
I'd assume the view would be nice coming down.
Yeah, for sure. Favorite pregame meal?
All right, so it used to be just like something like super like plain, like a protein shake and maybe like a bang. I had one game last year where we beat a team in the short conference tournament, and I had like the only run. It was solo shot in the first inning, and I had 4 Chick-fil-A sandwiches before that. So now that's kind of been the theme. I've been trying to go to Chick-fil-A before games, and yeah, I mean, it doesn't work every time, but sometimes I have good games, and I think it's from the Chick-fil-A. So.
I think so too. I think we gotta hope for no Sunday games then, I guess, right?
Yeah.
We got problems then. Favorite pro sports team?
I'm gonna have to go with the Astros on this one, just because of Chaz with Millersville. I've been watching a lot of Astros games lately, and I'm not a huge guy that likes to pick teams in the major leagues. I do like to kind of just watch everyone. I have like certain favorite players I like to watch, learn stuff from them. But definitely the Astros, they're very high competitive culture. There are a lot of leaders on that team. It's fun to watch. I mean, I want to go play professional baseball. It's cool to see a guy that was in my footsteps and now is all the way up there. So I've been watching.
Yeah, absolutely. I remember watching them in college. If you could be D1 in any other sport, what would you pick?
Golf. 100% golf.
Yeah, you don't need to explain why. Golf is the best. You play a lot? Are you any good, or are you just kind of like wishing you were good?
Nah, I'm really bad. That's why, like, I wish I was. Like, I'm horrible. If you put me in, like, top golf for the driving range, like, I will bomb balls. But this second I get on, like, a course, it's, like, into the trees.
Unless there's trees, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Excellent. That's kind of pretty much the way everybody is that isn't a pro, I think. So we appreciate the time, Andrew. Best of luck. You're going to a great program. Have an awesome senior year, and certainly look forward to following you this year and staying in touch and getting out to some games in the future too.
Thank you.